Hey friends, welcome back. Today we are decluttering down in our basement. Now this is the multi-purpose space of all multi-purpose spaces. We do storage in the closet here. I have my Peloton bike here. It's our guest bedroom and we have guests staying with us. You'll see a mattress and a box spring. I also run my small shop out of it, a place called Homeco. Check it out down in the description bar. So I have my inventory here. I have my packing table here. I have an office space here. Paperwork, it's like just so much happens down in this basement space, but it also just collects junk, and it's definitely the spot where we send things that we don't know where to put them. So today I am tackling this space like top to bottom, going through all of the areas. The biggest thing I needed to tackle first though was just cleaning up my small business space. I needed to sort out my inventory, clean off my like packing desk. Like it was just not functional for me at all because it was just messy and a little bit sloppy. So that's what we are tackling first in this video. I have a ton of paperwork that I have been putting off forever. I did not realize how much paperwork came with being an adult, but a lot of it needs to be shredded or like appropriately disposed of, or you need to open everything to make sure that it's not an important document or a bill. Or in our case, we drive to Florida quite frequently. We live in Tennessee, but we end up catching all of these like toll violations or like pay by plate tolls. So I need to make sure that like I catch all of those and pay all those $2 fees. We actually just had one that I guess I missed, and then somehow I got like a scary letter in the mail saying like you are now in debt collections, and it's like a collections agency coming to collect for like a Georgia toll or something. It was a little bit scary. We took care of it. Everything's fine. I'm sure I was just being a little over dramatic, but like y'all, the paperwork is so intense. And so it builds up down here because this is where we have our file cabinet. My husband and I both own our own businesses. So we have a lot of paperwork to like store and keep on hand for taxes or for the state, or that's actually mainly it. Mainly state documents and stuff, and then our taxes. So that all needs to go and be kept and gone through, and it just like, it built up for too long, and then I can't use my desk because it's covered in papers, and like, you guys get the picture. So that was like the first day that I was working on this project. I just needed this office space to become functional. And then we're gonna move over into the storage closet where literally things go to die. Like not literally, but figuratively. But if we don't know where to put something, or it's our off season, like winter clothing and stuff, like things need to end up in this closet, and I just don't even know what's in here. So I'm pulling most things out. I'm gonna go section by section because it is a small space, but I'm gonna just pull a lot of things out and put them in big piles, look at it on the floor, go through it, and make piles for trash, donate, putting back into the closet, and then selling on Facebook Marketplace. If you ever see me in a video laying things out nicely and pulling my phone out and taking a few pictures, that means I'm getting it ready to sell on Facebook Marketplace. I'd say I probably sell about 65 to 70% of the things that I list there because I list it to sell. I list it really cheap. I'm not trying to like make a ton of money. All of these items have just been sitting in our basement for over 2 years. So any money I get out of them is worthwhile. Like I'm not nervous about like getting all my money back or getting the best price possible. I'm not stressed about that. I'm just trying to get it out of my house. And if I can make $15 off of something, I'm going to do that. So we're just going to start going through all of these piles and see how much progress we can make. I'm not going to have really pretty, or not pretty, but satisfying, like huge piles of things I'm decluttering this video because I am trying to be practical in this project. It's like a very large scale, overwhelming project to me this day. And when I find something that needs to move somewhere else in the house, like back upstairs or to my closet, I just grabbed a pair of shoes that I want to put in my closet up in our bedroom. I just moved those over to the stairs to go upstairs. That's a lot of stairs, but I am not trying to just like make like satisfying YouTube videos in this. I was actually really overwhelmed by this project. I have been putting it off forever. The only reason I even like got started on it was because we had a guest coming to stay with us, and it was like the perfect time to be like, okay, get this room under control for the next person to come sleep in here. So I feel really good that we're like making progress in here. I wish I had better like, here's everything we got rid of or like rehomed, but I sadly don't have that shot for you guys, but I hope it's still motivating and encouraging to see us going through all these piles. Also, this was a bit overwhelming this day because a lot of things in the basement were my husband's. He had been putting a bunch of clothes down here that don't fit in our closet in our bedroom because they're like winter clothing items and coats. But I also spotted a few things I was pretty sure he like just wanted to declutter and didn't know where to put them really in our house. So I needed to make a big pile to go through with him later on in this video. So a lot of that stuff that's pulled aside there is just like my husband's stuff that I have to like earmark and leave out until he has time to go through it with me. So it's a little bit discombobulated in this video. It's not my most organized decluttering project, but it's also really realistic because I'm not just focusing on like my personal closet where I am in charge of every decision. I have to factor in things like my husband's belongings or things for the household that I don't really know what like it's for, but he definitely had a reason that it currently was still in the house and I had to ask him first. So a lot of these things like just compounded. You'll see a little jump later on in the video where I just eventually give up on this space and need to walk away for a bit. And that's totally okay to do, especially in a space like this where I could just close the door to the office for a day or two and not think about it. I really needed that break.
Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through, no limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
So we moved into this house about 2 years ago, and it's still wild to me that we have not established like homes for everything. Like there's different categories of like things in our house that just like are shoved in random bins and just stuck in the basement, and like not everything has a place yet. I think that's kind of universal though. I don't think anybody's home is like 100% top to bottom organized, especially when you have kids and like as they get bigger, like they have new activities or they just have more things that you have to figure out where they go, or as they're growing out of baby stuff, you have to figure out, do I hold on to the baby stuff and store it? Do I get rid of it? Like kids are a big factor in the amount of stuff we have in our home, but it's still just wild to me that like I don't have places for everything in my house. I wish I did. I wish I had every system set up, but I don't. So real life moment here, I don't have it all figured out. My YouTube channel might be full of organization and decluttering videos, but I still struggle with it, especially in a space like this where it's really my like last resort of like, I don't know where something goes, stick it in the basement, deal with it later. Well, later has come in this video finally, and I really was struggling this day. It was not a fun project. I had my youngest daughter with me, which was a little bit easier than having both toddlers with me, but it just, y'all, decluttering is hard. This decision-making fatigue is so real, and then looking at all of these piles gets really overwhelming, and I just want you to feel encouraged that like if you get really overwhelmed, like knee deep in a project like this, it gets worse before it gets better is something I need to just remind myself, and just remind yourself that you're going for progress, not perfection. And even if we didn't get this room perfectly decluttered before we had our guests stay with us, like at least we're making progress. At least we're getting rid of some things or putting some things where they belong in a better spot and making the space a little more functional. Like y'all, the progress will add up. So I still don't have like a really pretty basement bedroom. I don't think you can see that we just have a ton of ugly wood paneling still behind in here. We have nasty red carpets. The ceiling in here is a hot mess. Y'all can't even see the ceiling in this video, but it's like, it's gross. This room was just gross. And so this room is so far from perfect or pretty or Pinterest worthy. And all of the stuff we cram in this closet that's open faced and all that, like we are far from perfect in this home, but I'm still pleased with the progress. And if you looked at the before shots and then the after shots that I'll show at the end of this video, I think you'll agree that like not great, but a whole lot better than where we started. And that's just kind of my motto in this house. Like, things in this renovation home are slow and taking forever to go through. And with the kids, there's always new junk to deal with in the house, new stuff to store, new stuff to organize and manage, and inventory to keep up with. But it's always like calming to me to like take a big step back and look at where we started and where we are now and just recognize all of the progress we've made. That can be really encouraging when you're really frustrated by a space like this. Now we're working on a new day, and it feels really good to have taken a break from this space for a few days. It makes it a lot easier to make decluttering decisions, organizing decisions, like once you've stepped away for a minute. So that was super helpful for me. I did still have a bit of a timeline or a deadline to work off of someone coming to stay with us, but it was nice to just take a day off, take 2 days off, I think, actually, in this video. So like I said, I'm taking my Facebook Marketplace photos. Daisy helped me bag up a Trader Joe's bag full of donations and a Trader Joe's bag full of trash. We'll get those moved out of here. Off of camera, Christian did come down here with me, and we spent like 5 minutes. It was super quick. The easiest way to get your husband on board with decluttering is, one, make it known to him that it's important to you. Like, hey, I'm working on this space for having your family stay with us, like whatever like the goal is, and then making it very straightforward. Do you have 5 minutes some point this evening to come through and look at this pile of clothes with me? And then he said, yes, we can do it at 7 p.m. or whatever it was. So that's always been super helpful for me, for having a partner who like doesn't care as much about decluttering and going through all these piles. When it's definitely like my forte, I make it very simple, straightforward, low time commitment, and easy on their part. I don't just say, hey, I need you right now to go down to the basement and pull out all the clothes you've stuffed in there. That's just not helpful for anybody. So I had the pile ready. I said 5 minutes, we set a time, and it worked out great. We went through all of his stuff and almost everything he wanted to keep. He just needed a better system for storing his winter clothes. So I found a basket to, you'll see me start folding all of his stuff into. That's going to live down here in the basement. That's good with me if this closet down here is like a seasonal closet for us. That works really well, actually. And then he did pull out a few things that are like, no, we don't need that. We don't need that. I can let that go. I don't want that. So working with your partner can be super frustrating sometimes, or super easygoing, especially if you're not frustrated going into the project. Now, I love these white bins that I have from Target here. There's actually 2 different sizes here, and I actually just went to Target and after I finished filming all this video. So you'll have to subscribe and stay tuned for our basement makeover video to see me implement them in this closet. They're really not like the cutest baskets, but they are a great price. And as of right now, August 11th, when I'm making this video, they are 30% off at Target. So they're even cheaper. I think it was like $7 or $6 for 2 more baskets, or like per basket. So I grabbed some more of these, and in my closet, not my closet, so what is it called? Basement makeover. We're going to do a couple fun DIY projects down in here, and I want to make this closet a little more visually appealing. So I grabbed some more of these like white plastic baskets, just so like the stuff that's sitting in this closet, like yes, it's still a very full closet, but hopefully with matching baskets that are not see-through, it will look a little more cohesive, a little more pulled together. That's what I'm going for. We'll see how it actually turns out in that video, but make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for like kind of part 2 of this video. Now with everything kind of shoved back in the closet, I think it's a lot neater, a lot lot nicer looking. There's a lot less stuff laying around in the rooms. So I'm definitely counting it as a successful project, but that's all done. So I'm gonna start making the bed for my brother-in-law who's actually coming to stay with us. This part just makes the room feel a little bit prettier because you don't have like a giant mattress and a box spring shoved up against the wall. And it just makes a world of a difference. I don't have that many cute pillows. We used to have a lot of cute pillows because our last house had like an official guest room. We didn't have as many babies, and extra bedrooms were for guest rooms and looking cute and having throw pillows. I actually decluttered almost all of our throw pillows when we first got to this house because they were so bulky. And if you remember, this room when we first moved in was like floor to ceiling boxes. You could not get around this space. It was not functional in any way. So like I've mentioned earlier, like we've come such a long way in this space. So I need to remind myself to not be too hard on like, my home isn't actually that pretty. Like, girl, do you remember what you moved into 2 years ago? We've made a lot of progress in here, but I'm excited for that basement makeover video. We're gonna finish painting in here. We're gonna make this like a real bed situation. I have a beautiful wooden headboard that's currently underneath my master bedroom bed, and it's beautiful. It's covered in paint right now, and I wanna strip all of that paint off and refinish it and just have like the wood look. I think that would look really nicely against the painted white walls in this room. Maybe get some more throw pillows, hang up our McPhail's sign that we've had floating around, and then also, like I said earlier, those matching baskets in this closet. I splurged a little on it, even though I'm trying not to be too spendy on these videos. I got some new baskets. I think that'll really elevate the closet look. I don't have a solution for my Peloton looking any cuter in this room, but you gotta make sure you're balancing the functional stuff with the cute stuff, with the simplicity, minimalism, with like, I really need a home for my Peloton, and this is the best spot for it. So make sure you guys are hanging around for part 2 to this video, when hopefully in a few weeks, we're gonna get around to making this space a lot prettier. I'm excited for what we can DIY heavy on a budget. We're not spending like any money on this stuff. It's really gonna be just things we already have laying around in the house, minus those baskets I bought. But thanks for hanging out and watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you are currently decluttering or what your next project will be, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.